Hi, in this video we are going to talk about window sliding technique, which is a popular technique in many interview questions. Let's understand this with an example. We are given an array of integers and a number k. We need to find the maximum sum of k consecutive elements. So we are given this array and say k is 3. Sum of first 3 consecutive integers is 39. First sum of next consecutive integers is 33. Sum of these consecutive integers is 45. Sum of these consecutive integers is 22. So out of all these sums, 45 is the maximum sum. So we need to produce 45 as an output. In this example, we need to find the sum of 2 consecutive elements. So this one is -5, this one is -4, this one is 96, this one is 93, 96 is the maximum. So that is why our output is 96. How do you solve this problem? A naive approach to solve this problem is to consider every element as a beginning element, right? I begin from here, I run a loop till k, find the sum of k elements, begin from here, run a loop till k and find the sum of these 3 elements, and I keep track of the maximum sum. Let us talk about naive solution. What we do in the naive solution, we initialize the maximum as the result as minus infinite. Then we consider every point as a beginning point. We run a loop till this point. That is why we have this condition. For every beginning point, we compute the sum of k elements beginning from it. So j varies from 0 to k minus 1, right? So for I equal to 0, we'll go to this point. We find the sum. We compute the sum, compare the sum with maximum sum so far, and if it is greater, we update the maximum sum. At the end, we return the maximum sum. So what is the time complexity of this? It's going to be big O of n minus k into k. Imagine if k is n by 2, it's going to be n square by 4, which is big O of n square. So this is kind of quadratic solution. Can you solve this problem in linear time? You may pause this video now and think of a solution which works in linear time. Let us now talk about a linear time solution which is based on window sliding technique. So what we do in window sliding technique, we compute the sum of first window and we can get the sum of next window in big O of 1 time. How do I get the sum of next window in big O of 1 time? I simply need to subtract this element and add this element, right, to the current sum. That's how I get the sum of next window, right, which is a big O of 1 operation. I just need to subtract one element and add one element. These two are constant operations. Imagine if k is 100. I don't have to compute the sum of 100 elements. I simply do one addition, one subtraction. Let's see how does this work. We first compute the sum of first window. We initialize the current sum as 0 and we compute the sum of first window, right? We do current sum plus equal to array I. So we compute the sum of first window. I have the sum of this window, these 3 elements. Now I initialize my max sum or result as this current sum. So this is my initial result. Now I need to compute the sum of remaining windows. So I run a loop beginning from k, I smaller than n, I plus plus. So here I indicates end of current window. So end of first window was k minus 1, end of next window is going to be k. There are different programmers who implement window sliding in a different way. If you pause the video and implement it in a different way and it's working, that's also fine. Here I'm implementing in a way where I is considered as end of current window, right? So my first window sum is computed. Now the end of next window is k, this one, right? This index k is 3, so this is index 3. And how do I get the sum of this window? I do current sum equal to current sum plus, I need to add one thing, I need to subtract one thing. So what do I add to the current sum? I add array I, right? That's the last element of current window. And I need to subtract first element of the previous window. So what will be the index of first element of the previous window? It will be I minus k, right? So if I is this, index 3, then first element of the last window is 3 minus 3 is 0. If I is this, I is 4, then the first element of the previous window is 4 minus 3, 1, right? So I get the sum of current window in constant time by adding an element and subtracting an element, right, to the current sum. I have plus equal to sign here, right? Now I simply need to compare this with max sum. If max sum is smaller than current sum, then I update the current sum, right? That's how I get the max sum, and I simply return at the end max sum. So what is the time complexity of this solution? You can see that it's doing big O of k work here, then big O of n minus k work here. So overall time complexity is going to be big O of n. So this is a linear time solution, much better than the quadratic solution that we discussed. Now let me ask you a quick question, a simple variation of this problem. If you are given an array and an integer k, you need to find if there is a subarray of size k with given sum. So if I give you a sum, say sum is 45 and my k is 3, then you need to tell me if there is a subarray with sum 45 or not. So your output will be true because there is a subarray with sum 45. And if I give you 44, then your output is going to be false because there is no subarray of size 3 with sum equal to 44. So you need to tell me whether there is a subarray of size k with given sum or not. What modifications you will make to the solution? You will simply compare current sum with the given sum 45. So if current sum is equal to given sum, then you return true, and at the end, if you did not find any subarray of size k, you return false. So basically what happens is you are traversing through every subarray of size k in these loops, and you have sum of every subarray of size k. That is why this approach works, and this approach works in big O of n time. Let's now talk about a next problem, which is based on window sliding. Here the window size is not going to be fixed. So the problem is, given an unsorted array and a value, we need to find if there is a subarray with given sum, right? Give us some value. And the thing about this given array is it contains non-negative integers, which is an important point about this question. So if your array does not contain non-negative integers only, if it is allowed to have negatives as well, then the approach that we are going to discuss based on window sliding, it won't work. So this is a very, very interesting problem from interview perspective. If I give you an array with positives and negatives both, and if I ask you to find if there is a sub array with given sum or not, sub array means contiguous elements. There are some contiguous elements whose sum is equal to given sum or not. Then a naive way what you will do is, whether it is negative, positive, or whatever it is, in this problem, for example, also what you will do is you will simply run two loops, right? What you will do, you will run a loop for int I equals to 0, I smaller than n, I plus plus. Then you will run a loop for, you will initialize the sum as 0, then you will run a loop for subarray after I for int j equals to I, j smaller than n, j plus plus. Then you will say if sum is, then you will say sum equal to sum plus array j. Then you will say if sum is equal to given sum, then you return true, right? That's the naive solution. That's the big O of n square solution. And at the end, you return false. So this solution takes big O of n square time. Can you think of a big O of n solution? We have discussed a big O of n solution based on hashing and prefix sum technique in the hashing video lecture. But that solution requires big O of n extra space. That solution works really great if there are negative numbers also. But if your array contains only non-negative integers, then you can do even better. You can solve it in big O of n time and big O of 1 auxiliary space. Let's see how do we do it. What we do is we maintain a window of current sum. We begin from this. Starting point and ending point of this window are this element only. We check if it's the sum of current window is smaller than 33. We add more elements to the window. We add 4. Still smaller than 33. We add the next element also. It's still smaller than 33 because the sum is 25, which is smaller than 33. We add the next element also. So 25 plus 3, 28. is still smaller than 33. So we add the next element. Now we have 38. So this sum 38 is now greater than 33. So what do? We remove the elements from the beginning while this is greater than 33. So we remove 1. Now the sum is 37. It is still greater than 33. So we remove this element also. Now the sum is 33, and that's our output. This subarray is our output, right? So let me repeat the approach. What we do is we keep on adding elements to the current window while the sum of current window is smaller than the given sum. Whenever the sum becomes greater, we keep removing the beginning elements from this window until we get a smaller sum or an equal sum, right? So when you reach that point, when the sum becomes equal to the given sum, you return true, right? If you reach the end and you do not end up in a point where sum is equal to given sum, you return false at the end. That's the idea of window sliding technique for this problem. Let us now take a look at the implementation of big O of n solution of window sliding technique for a subarray sum problem. What we do is we maintain two variables, start and end. Start is start of current window, end is end of current window. We initialize the current window sum as first element. So our current window is having only this element, right? So we initialize the start as 0 and the end is also this element, right? So after this, we move to the next window, and before we move to the current ending point, we check for the sum of previous window, right? So in this particular implementation, what we are doing, we are considering every point as an end point, and then before adding the element of current ending point, we clean the previous window. We first check if the previous window sum is equal to current sum or not. That is why we begin from I equal to 1. We check for e equal to 0 before we add e equals to 1 element, right? Before we add the current element. Before we add the current element, we clean the previous window. We check if the previous window was having any extra element or sum more than the 33 sum. Suppose the first element was 34, then 35, and if you come to the next element, you will remove 34. That removal happens here. The first elements which are causing greater sum, they are removed here. And then you check if the current sum is equal to given sum or not. If it is equal, you return true. And after that, you add the current element to this window, to the current window, right? And that is how you proceed. You keep considering every element as current ending element of the current window. So you add the element at the end to prepare for the next iteration, right? In the next iteration, you check for the previous window sum here, right? So there's one last element window sum that has to be checked explicitly. That window sum we check at the end. At the end, we check if the current sum is equal to given sum, then we return true, otherwise we do not. Right? So we explicitly check for the last window. Suppose there was 15, then we would check if the last window sum is equal to 15 or not. So this is a big O of n solution. How is it big O of n? Because, I mean, if you take a look at this, there are two loops running, right? There's one loop running for every ending point. There's another loop running inside it, which removes the beginning elements from the window. How is it big O of n? So you can see it this way. There is a virtual window that we are maintaining, although we are not using any auxiliary space to store the window elements. There's a virtual window that we maintain, and every element goes into this window at most once and goes out of this window at most once. And taking every element into this window is big O of one time. Taking any element out of this window is also big O of one time. So we do at most 2n operations. That's how the time complexity of this operation, this particular solution is big O of n. And how come it never misses a valid sum? The reason is simple, because you have no negative elements. So if the sum becomes greater, you can simply remove the elements. If when you are removing an element, suppose you remove 1, had there been a sum including 1, this would have appeared when it was there in the window. Because you got greater sum, that is why you're removing it, because there is no possible sum with this window, right? Because there are no negative elements, right? This approach cannot work for negative elements. Let's take an example of negative elements where this approach does not work. So this approach does not work for negative elements. Let's take a look at this example. What happens here? We'll compute the sum of window as 4. Then we'll include this element. We'll get the sum as 11. So when I get the sum 11, I'll remove this 4, right? And you can notice that there is a sum 9 with this element. The sum 4 plus 7, 11, minus 3, 8 and 1, 9. So I'm getting a sum 9 with these 4 elements, and with this, in this approach I won't get that sum because I'll remove 5 because the sum becomes 11, right? So this approach would not work for negative elements, but the good thing about this approach is it works really great when you have non-negative elements. It does not require extra space. Let us now take a look at some interesting questions based on same window sliding concept, which are exercise for you, so you guys can try these questions at home. So first question is n Fibonacci numbers. We are given a number m and a number n. We need to print first m n Fibonacci numbers. So what is n Fibonacci number? We can say Fibonacci is 2 Fibonacci. So 2 Fibonacci means every element is sum of previous 2 elements. Fibonacci means every element is sum of previous 3 elements, right? 4 Fibonacci means every element is sum of previous 4 elements. So let's take a look at this example. N is equal to 3, m is equal to 8. M8 means we need to print 8 elements as an output, right? So we have 8 elements as an output. N is equal to 3 means every element is going to be sum of previous 3 elements. So when n is 3, your first n minus 1 elements are going to be 0. So first 2 elements 0, n is 4 here, so first 3 elements 0. Next element is always 1. So fourth element here is 1, third element here is 1. Elements after first 3 elements, when n is 3, are computed in the same way as Fibonacci. Every element is sum of previous 3. So this element is sum of these 3 elements, which is 1. This element is sum of these 3 elements, which is 2. This element is sum of these 3 elements, which is 2 plus 2, 4. This element is sum of these 3 elements, which is 7. This element is sum of these 3 elements, which is 13. Right? For m equal to 4, first 3 numbers 0, next number 1. Next number, sum of these 3 elements. Next number, sum of these 4 elements. Next number, sum of these 4 elements. Next number, sum of these 4 elements. So this is the problem. You need to print n Fibonacci numbers, m n Fibonacci numbers for a given m. Try to solve this problem in big O of m time. One simple solution is simply you get first n numbers by putting n minus 1 zeros and then 1. Then you run a loop for every m, and what do you do in the loop? You compute the sum of previous n numbers. That's how you get the n numbers. So this time complexity is big O of n into m. You need to solve this problem in big O of m time, right? So try solving this problem in big O of m time. Next problem is count distinct elements in every window of size k. So this problem, can be solved by a simple approach where what we do is we traverse through every window of size k is 4 here. We count distinct elements in it using some approach of counting distinct elements that we'll discuss in hashing. So for every window, I'll count distinct elements using hashing and I'll get the distinct elements. Then I'll run the same hashing technique for the next window. Using hashing technique, I can find distinct elements in an array of size k in big O of k time. I can count those many distinct elements. So the time complexity of this approach, which uses hashing for every window, is going to be big O of nk. Your task is to optimize the solution to work in big O of n time. So if you have not studied hashing, you may skip this question for now and try this question, come back to this sliding window track video and then solve this question after you have studied hashing, because this requires knowledge of both hashing and window sliding. But this is an interesting interview question asked in some companies. So you need to count distinct elements in every window here. Let me explain this question more. Why are we getting this output? How many distinct elements are here in this first window? If there's one element 1, then 2, then 3. This is not distinct, this is repeating, right? How many elements we have in this window distinct? All 4 are different elements, so our output is 4. How many distinct elements we have in this window? We have 3 distinct elements, 1 element is repeating. How many distinct elements we have in this window? There is 1 element that appears 3 times, so our output is 2. There are only 2 distinct elements in the last window, 3 and 4. So you need to produce this output and you need to solve this problem in big O of n time. So in this video, we talked about window sliding technique. We introduced it with a simple example. Then we talked about a good example where we had to find the sub array with given sum, right? Then we discussed these questions. So there may be variations of sub-array problem also. You might be asked to print the sub-array also, like starting and ending indexes, that you can easily do because we were maintaining S and D, right? So you can print S and D to find the sub-array. So please solve window sliding problems yourself. There is a tag on Geeks for Geeks with sliding windows. So if you open geeksforgeeks.org/tag/sliding window, you will find all problems present on Geeks for Geeks, all articles present on Geeks for Geeks with sliding window technique.